In today's lesson, we will be graphing quadratics. Our last lesson, we were looking at either monomials, just ax squared, and then some of them we were adding the constant at the end. Now we've got that middle term, so it's no longer going to be symmetric about the y-axis. So we have to find the axis of symmetry. It's no longer the y-axis. So it might be shifted over here, and the parabola might be symmetric about a different line. So the axis of symmetry, there's a formula. X equals the opposite of b over 2a. So opposite of b over 2a. So you're grabbing the b and the a from your function. And then the y-intercept is, so the y-intercept, the point where it crosses the y-axis, is always 0 and then the constant at the end. That is your y-intercept. And then to find the vertex, now the vertex is the middle point, so it's always on the middle line. So to the vertex, the x value is the axis of symmetry, negative b over 2a. And then you'd have to plug this in for x to find your y of your vertex. Okay, so let's look at all of the details of this function. F of x equals 3x squared minus 12x plus 6. So my a is 3, my b is negative 12, and my c is positive 6. The axis of symmetry is x equals the opposite of b over 2a. So because b is negative 12, the opposite of negative 12 is positive 12 over 2 times a, which is 3. So that's 12 over 6, which is 2. That means at 2 on the x-axis, I will draw the axis of symmetry. All right, the vertex, the middle point, lies on the axis of symmetry. So if 2 is the axis of symmetry, 2 is the x value of the vertex. And I need to find the y value. To do that, I'm going to plug in 2 for x. So 3 times 2 squared minus 12 times 2 plus 6. 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 minus 24, that goes to negative 12, plus 6 is negative 6. So let's plot that point. Write 2 down 6. Okay, the y-intercept is 0 and then c, 0, 6. So let's plot that point. That is up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right here. Okay, parabolas are symmetric about the axis of symmetry. So this point is 2 away. So I'm going to go 2 away and put another point. I can reflect. Let's make an XY table. Let's just get one more point. So if the vertex is at 2, 2, negative 6, let's plug in 3. So 3 times 3 squared minus 12 times 3 plus 6. So 27 minus 36 plus 6. Negative 9 plus 6 is negative 3. So 3, negative 3. And then you can reflect that to the other side. And now you have your parabola. Okay, we're going to talk about domain and range a little bit. Domain, all the x values that a parabola touches. Domain for all quadratics is always all real numbers. But range, the y values, there is a minimum point right here. The y values are above that vertex, and the vertex goes down to negative 6. So all y values greater than or equal to negative 6. Okay, let's practice this one more time. One more example. Okay, this time g of x equals negative 2x squared plus 12x minus 17. So right away, a -2 out in front, I know my parabola is going to open down. Axis of symmetry, x equals the opposite of b over 2a. So here's my, let's see, my a, my b, and my c. Opposite of positive 12 is now -12 over 2 times a, which is -2. -12 over -4 is positive 3. So I'm going to draw my axis of symmetry, find 3 on the x, and draw a dotted line. And my vertex is on my axis of symmetry, so the x value is 3. And then I need to plug in 3. -2 times 3 squared plus 12 times 3 minus 17. So I've got -18 plus 36 is 18 minus 17 is 1. So 3, 1, there is my vertex. My y-intercept is 0, -17. That's going to go off my graph, so it's not super helpful this time. But we can get some other points. So when I'm getting points, I always first put my vertex down 3, 1, and then pick numbers after the vertex, so like 4 and 5. And then I can get to one side of my parabola and then reflect over to the other side. So if you plug in 4, I'm just going to help you out. You're going to get -1. So 4, -1, and then reflect it over. If you plug in 5, you should get -7. And then you can reflect it over. And that is good enough for a parabola right there. Okay, domain on parabolas is always all real numbers. The range is all y values less than or equal to, it's less than or equal to because it's opening down, and the top y value is 1. So there is your video on graphing quadratics in standard form. Good luck with the lesson.